This is August, what is it, 17th?
18th.
August 18th, 2017. This is a bunch of structures that have been put in a campground here in northern Utah. And they just suddenly appeared about a month ago. About a month ago, I've talked to the camp hosts, and these things suddenly appeared at night. And there's, I think, 4 or 5 structures or piles during the middle of the week when only the camp hosts were here. And this is interesting, a big pile of sticks with some rocks on the inside. And like I said, this was not here, and this is right next to the parking lot. So it's very easy to see. Okay, this screen is right next to a horseshoe pit in the campground. Again, it just showed up during the middle of the week when no one was here. The camp host can't say the exact night, but it appeared the weekend it wasn't here, and then like Thursday suddenly there's 4 or 5 structures all here in the campground, and no one had been camping up here in that period. I'm up here on a Friday, and so there's lots of noise in the background from what I'm looking at here. Since this is several weeks old, it was a lot more organized and better made a few weeks ago than it appears right now. But it basically looks to be a screen structure where somebody would use it to hide. And this is the screen side that is facing the camp host's trailer. So this is what would have been put up to keep from being visible. Now I talked to the camp hosts, and they've heard sounds out in the night, out in the campground. They've heard some trees breaking and things like that, but never thought too much of this. And this is the closest one to the camp host. This big log that's laying out there in front had not been there before and appeared during the middle of the week. And there's moss on it, so it's been pulled up from out of the river, which is just behind me, maybe 50 yards. And this is closest to the camp host's trailer, and actually the most secluded and the best cover. And again, it was intertwined, and kids have been in here and messed with it. But anyway, really fascinating stuff. Now here's a structure on the ground made of cross sticks. Normally anybody just walks over this, thinks nothing of it, and I may not notice it except for 2 reasons. Number one is just uphill from where these recent structures were made. Number 2, these sticks have been moved here, and they're kind of laid parallel to each other, which is unusual. Now obviously this could be natural, so I can't discount that, but anyway, it's interesting, and it is near a trail intersection, showing basically 2 trails going off in different directions at approximately the angles, assuming the sticks represent the borders of the trail, assuming the trail is within the borders, that's approximately the angle they're both veering off from each other. So kind of interesting. And this flat stick across the bottom here would represent the campground, which is down about 100 yards. I've been up here before, but not on this trail. I went up the main trail. Boy, I'm seeing all sorts of lanes that, believe me, I didn't see last summer when I was up here. But since I didn't come here, they may have been here then too. This is pretty awesome here. So we're going to follow this through and see what we find. Alright, now look at this. This is obviously made, this little teepee here. Those 2 sticks are balanced with the 3rd one in the middle, the 4th one coming over my head. This could not have just fallen this way. This was made. This meets the criteria of where I feel they look for residents. I feel in this area there's a lot of hunting activity, so they deliberately locate near campgrounds, near where there are people, because they close it to hunting and they close it to people running their dogs, their bear dogs. I see a big teepee up there through the trees. I'm going to walk up that way and go look at it. This is either a structure something could lay under, or a large barrier to the trail, because you notice this big log here has been moved there, so it wasn't rooted near there, and these are all in a big cluster, making basically going straight up what used to be a trail here almost impossible, so I'll need to walk around it. I'm seeing a number of these big flat spots. Here's one. Here's a smaller one. It actually appears to have toes. About 10 to 12 inches long on this one. Here's the area, kind of thing I call a Sasquatch highway. I dubbed it that this last year. A bunch of small round trees laying across the trail. I feel probably so Sasquatches are up in the wet season to eliminate footprints, or to make traction easier, or so you don't have to walk in the mud all the time, who knows. Or it could be natural, but you know, I've seen this half a dozen times or more. There was a sound in the background. I'm not certain if that's somebody chopping wood or something else. There have been some chattering sounds uphill from me, but again, those could be echoes, so it's hard to tell.